Welcome back to another episode of our language learning journey. Today we're going to embark on a different kind of conversation, one that celebrates the entire arc of language acquisition from that very first tentative hello to the moment when you realize you're thinking in your target language without even noticing. I want to start with a story that perfectly captures what we're talking about today. Last month, I received an email from Sarah, a listener who started learning Italian 2 years ago after hearing one of our episodes. She wrote, "I remember my first Italian word was ciao. I was too scared to even say it out loud. Yesterday, I spent 3 hours on a video call with my Italian business partners, negotiating a complex deal entirely in Italian, and I forgot I wasn't speaking English until someone complimented my fluency. The journey from that first whispered ciao to closing deals in Italian feels like magic, but I know it was really just consistent daily adventure. That word, adventure, is everything. Because that's exactly what language learning is. The greatest adventure you can embark on without leaving your home, buying a plane ticket, or making any dramatic life changes. It's an internal expedition that transforms not just how you communicate but who you are as a person. Think about it. When you decided to learn your target language, what was your very first word? Can you remember it? For many people it's hello or thank you, these universal bridges of human connection. There's something almost sacred about that first word. It represents hope, curiosity, and a willingness to step into the unknown. That first word is your declaration that you're ready to expand your world. But here's what's beautiful about the language learning adventure. It's not a straight line from point A to point B. It's more like exploring an uncharted territory where every day brings new discoveries, unexpected challenges, and moments of pure joy that make all the effort worthwhile. Let me walk you through what this adventure really looks like, because I think understanding the journey helps you appreciate where you are right now and get excited about where you're going. The discovery phase, your first steps. In the beginning, everything is new and exciting. You're discovering that other languages have sounds your mouth has never made before. You're realizing that different cultures organize thoughts in completely different ways. Spanish speakers don't just say, "I am hungry." They say, "I have hunger," as if hunger is something you possess rather than something you are. German speakers build words like architectural structures, creating magnificently long compounds that express complex ideas in a single term. Japanese speakers navigate layers of politeness that reveal intricate social relationships. This discovery phase is intoxicating. Every new word feels like finding treasure. You start noticing your target language everywhere. In movies, on signs, in conversations around you. The world suddenly feels more colorful, more complex, more interesting. You're like a child again, seeing everything with fresh eyes. But here's what happens that catches many learners off guard. The discovery phase is followed by what I call the reality check phase. This is where the initial excitement meets the actual work of language learning. The grammar starts getting complicated. The vocabulary lists grow longer. You realize that fluency isn't going to happen in 30 days, despite what some apps might promise. This is where many people abandon their adventure. They hit their first real challenge and think, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But here's the secret. This moment isn't a sign that you should quit. It's a sign that you're transitioning from tourist to traveler in your language learning journey. The struggle valley, where growth happens. Every language learner goes through what researchers call the intermediate plateau, or what I prefer to call struggle valley. This is where you know enough to understand that you don't know very much. You can have basic conversations, but complex topics leave you frustrated. You understand much more than you can express, which can be maddening. I remember hitting this phase while learning Mandarin. I could order food, ask for directions, and have pleasant small talk about the weather. But when I tried to explain my job, my hobbies, or my thoughts on anything deeper than surface-level topics, I felt like I was trying to paint a masterpiece with only 3 colors. Here's the crucial insight. Struggle Valley isn't a detour from your adventure. It's the most important part of it. This is where your brain is working hardest, making the most connections, building the most robust neural pathways. The struggle isn't evidence that you're failing. It's evidence that you're growing. Think of it like physical fitness. When you're strength training, the muscle growth doesn't happen during the easy reps. It happens when you're pushing against resistance, when your muscles are being challenged beyond their comfort zone. The same principle applies to language learning. Your linguistic muscles grow strongest when you're grappling with concepts that are just beyond your current ability. The breakthrough moments. Magic in the making. But then something magical starts happening. You begin having breakthrough moments, those incredible instances when everything suddenly clicks. Maybe you're watching a movie in your target language and realize you forgot to read the subtitles because you were following along naturally. Maybe you dream in your new language for the first time. Maybe you have an entire conversation without stopping to translate in your head. These breakthrough moments are like finding hidden chambers in a vast cave system you've been exploring. Each one reveals new passages, new possibilities, new areas to explore. They're proof that all those hours of study, all those moments of confusion, all those times you wanted to give up were building towards something extraordinary. I'll never forget my first major breakthrough in French. I was listening to a French podcast about astronomy, and suddenly I realized I was following a complex discussion about black holes, understanding not just the words but the scientific concepts being explained. 6 months earlier, I would have struggled to order coffee in French. The transformation felt miraculous, but of course it wasn't magic. It was the result of consistent daily practice compounding over time. The integration phase, becoming bilingual. As you progress through your adventure, something subtle but profound begins to happen. Your new language stops feeling like a foreign costume you put on and starts feeling like a natural extension of yourself. You develop what linguists call linguistic identity in your target language. You become a slightly different version of yourself when speaking it. This isn't just poetic language. It's a documented psychological phenomenon. Many multilingual people report that they feel different personality traits emerge when they speak different languages. They might be more direct in German, more romantic in Italian, more formal in Japanese. It's as if each language unlocks different facets of your personality. This phase of the adventure is particularly fascinating because you start to understand culture not just intellectually but intuitively. You begin to grasp the subtle humor, the cultural references, the unspoken social rules that native speakers navigate effortlessly. You're not just learning a language anymore. You're developing cultural fluency. The maintenance challenge, keeping your adventure alive. Here's something nobody talks about enough. Even when you reach fluency, the adventure doesn't end, it evolves. Maintaining a language requires ongoing effort, especially if you're not using it daily. But this maintenance phase can be incredibly rewarding because you get to explore the more nuanced, sophisticated aspects of your target language. This is where you might delve into literature, explore regional dialects, or specialize in professional terminology for your field. You might discover that you prefer consuming certain types of content in your second language. Maybe German podcasts for in-depth analysis, Spanish music for emotional expression, or French films for artistic appreciation. Embracing the nonlinear nature of progress. One of the most important mindset shifts in embracing your language learning adventure is understanding that progress isn't linear. You'll have days when everything flows effortlessly and days when you can't remember words you've known for months. You'll have weeks of rapid improvement followed by periods where you feel stuck. This is completely normal and actually a sign of healthy language acquisition. Your brain is constantly reorganizing information, strengthening some neural pathways while pruning others. What feels like stagnation is often consolidation. Your brain is integrating new knowledge with existing knowledge to create more stable, accessible language skills. I like to think of language learning like tending a garden. Some days you're planting new seeds, learning new vocabulary and grammar structures. Some days you're watering and nurturing, practicing and reinforcing what you've learned. Some days you're weeding, correcting mistakes and refining your understanding. And some days, you just get to enjoy the beautiful flowers that have bloomed from all your care and attention. The social dimension, adventure with others. One of the most rewarding aspects of the language learning adventure is the people you meet along the way. There's an instant bond between language learners, a shared understanding of the challenges and triumphs that come with expanding your linguistic horizons. Online language exchange partners, conversation groups, international meetups. These connections often turn into lasting friendships. There's something special about the relationship you build with someone when you're both vulnerable learners together, helping each other navigate linguistic challenges while sharing your cultures and perspectives. I've formed some of my deepest friendships through language learning. There's Maria from Barcelona who helped me understand Spanish subjunctive mood over countless video calls. There's Hiroshi from Tokyo who patiently corrected my Japanese pronunciation while I helped him with English idioms. These relationships, forged in the crucible of mutual learning, have a depth and authenticity that's hard to replicate in other contexts. The professional advantages, adventure pays dividends. While the personal rewards of language learning are immense, let's not overlook the professional advantages that come with embracing this adventure. In our interconnected global economy, language skills open doors that remain closed to monolingual professionals. But it's not just about the immediate practical benefits, better job opportunities, higher salaries, international assignments. It's about the cognitive advantages that make you better at your job regardless of whether you're using your second language directly. Multilingual professionals tend to be better at multitasking, more creative problem solvers, and more effective at seeing situations from multiple perspectives. The adventure of language learning develops what psychologists call cognitive flexibility, the ability to switch between different conceptual representations and adapt your thinking to new and unexpected conditions. This skill is invaluable in virtually any profession in our rapidly changing world. The cultural bridge, becoming a global citizen. Perhaps the most profound aspect of the language learning adventure is how it transforms you into a bridge between cultures. When you speak someone's native language, even imperfectly, you're showing respect for their culture in a way that transcends mere politeness. You're demonstrating that you care enough to make the effort to meet them in their linguistic home. This bridge-building aspect of language learning has never been more important than it is today. In a world that often seems increasingly divided, multilingual individuals serve as vital connectors, helping different communities understand each other. You become a translator not just of words, but of concepts, perspectives, and human experiences. Redefining fluency. The adventure never ends. Here's a liberating truth. Fluency isn't a destination, it's a way of traveling. Native speakers are constantly learning new aspects of their own language, encountering new vocabulary, discovering new ways to express themselves. Language is a living, evolving system, and fluency means being comfortable navigating that evolution. This realization takes the pressure off achieving some mythical state of perfect language knowledge and instead invites you to enjoy the ongoing adventure of linguistic growth. Every conversation teaches you something new. Every book introduces you to new expressions. Every cultural experience adds depth to your understanding. Your adventure starts today. So where are you in your language learning adventure right now? Are you at the very beginning, savoring those first exciting discoveries? Are you navigating the challenges of Struggle Valley, building linguistic muscle through persistent practice? Are you experiencing the joy of breakthrough moments, watching your hard work pay off in moments of natural communication? Wherever you are, I want you to know that you're exactly where you need to be. Your current level isn't a reflection of your ultimate potential. It's simply your starting point for the next phase of your adventure. The beautiful thing about framing language learning as an adventure is that it changes your relationship with challenges. Instead of seeing difficulties as obstacles, you see them as interesting terrain to navigate. Instead of fearing mistakes, you embrace them as part of the exploration process. Instead of feeling frustrated by your current limitations, you feel excited about the discoveries that await you. Your adventure from first word to fluency is uniquely yours. Your motivations, your challenges, your breakthrough moments, your destination, they're all part of your personal linguistic journey. There's no right or wrong way to take this adventure, no universal timeline that applies to everyone. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one word at a time, one conversation at a time, one small victory at a time. That first word you learned, that tentative step into a new linguistic world, was the beginning of a transformation that extends far beyond language skills. You're not just learning to communicate in a new language. You're expanding your capacity for empathy, developing cognitive superpowers, opening professional opportunities, building international relationships, and becoming a more complete version of yourself. The adventure from first word to fluent is calling your name. Are you ready to answer? Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker once struggled with their first conjugation. Every confident conversationalist once stumbled through their first attempts at pronunciation. Your adventure is just beginning, and the best part is yet to come. Embrace every moment of it, the challenges, the breakthroughs, the plateaus, and the victories. This is your linguistic adventure, and it's going to be extraordinary. The journey from first word to fluent isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about who you become along the way. And that person, the adventurous, curious, persistent, globally minded person you're becoming, that person is absolutely worth the journey. Your adventure awaits. Embrace it fully.